This is a very interesting session. Who came through for me is you will be revealed, but shortly before this session, it was early in the morning on a Saturday, and I was just browsing Facebook, and I was led to a story about a man in a lawn chair who launched off into basically almost into space with some helium balloons, which of course would pop before he got into true orbit. But um, he went very high, and in fact, he went into Los Angeles's airport airspace, and a pilot reported to ground control that there was a man floating in a lawn chair attached to balloons. And anyway, this apparently happened in 1982. I vaguely remember something about it. And he survived this uh, incredible adventure. But anyway, I couldn't remember the whole story or even if it was true because some people were saying it was a myth. And so I looked it up and watched a video actually about it. And so I knew the story. And then I sat down and to have a session with my pendulum and my paper and my telepathic abilities. And this is the story. So I just wanted to give you that heads up on the beginning. I've had these kind of synchronicities, these kind of things happen before when I'm led to something or have an impulse to look something up. And um it is always fascinating, but it also today is giving me more thoughts about the possibilities as to our future. If we can be actually are we influenced by those in heaven or are they influenced by us? Good questions. One last thought before we dig in. I have to compare this episode of Lawnchair Larry with his flight with the episode of Benjamin Franklin out in a thunderstorm with a kite and a key attached to the string. Very intrepid souls, aren't they? Listing my name on the game of love. This is Thomas Hardy because I am pretty hardy today because I came to see that everybody is here today who is trusting on a new way to play. Thomas Hardy, one of my favorite authors. Thank you. I appreciate your ability to articulate your concerns about humanity in the way you do. And I hear that you are also an author and that you are quite perceptive in the way that you see things. So I want to say something for the group who have joined recently. I didn't have an opportunity to be here previously because I just died from another lifetime, you see. But I like to be remembered as Thomas Hardy because I hardly get any acknowledgement today because the people play in a different way. They are very, very different on earth today. They do not read to inspire themselves or to learn about their world or to discern what is going right and what is going wrong. They only read what they have to read in school and then they blow it off, you see, because they cough up a lot of phlegm because they are the ones who live in a lemming like existence where they just do what they're told to do and everybody flocks together and runs together and jumps off the cliff together, you might say. Although I don't know if lemmings really do that, but I could look it up, I suppose. In the meantime, I want to say that love is the only way to play. Love is the only way to play. The people who make fun of you, Stephanie, because you always have so many well known figures in the circle, don't understand that we choose to go by these names, even though we've had other names that were not names that you could name because we had no fame in those lives. We like to rest on our laurels a bit because when we do achieve some notoriety, we like to recognize it in ourselves and others, you see, because it's sort of like being a child who grows up and has many chapters in your life, but in one chapter, you become well known because of you are a writer of a well read book or a movie or in politics or whatever, and then you go into obscurity again. But you like to remember that part in your life where you achieve some quality experience of ability to influence others, you see. And so I like to be known as Thomas Hardy. However, it is hardly my only life, and I've had many lives of strife, let me tell you. And that probably is just as well, because I fell from a great height when I did alight on earth this past December of 1949, when I had to take the time to understand the rime was off the glass, and it just tasted very, very stale. You see, life tasted very stale to me, and I want to hail you for your acknowledgement of me because I didn't actually know that I would go down in history as the man who went through the atmosphere in a lawn chair. Oh God, it was you. And I was just inspired to look you up. Well, I guess who put that in my mind? Oh my God. So if you guys can do that, if you can inspire somebody to look something up so you get some history. But did you have another life after that? Yes, I did. So that was not my last life. I had a very short life, and I just came to the end of it because it wasn't very exciting, you see, to be the one who was condemned to a chair for life because I had to be confined to a wheelchair because I had a physical disability that caused me to shrivel up in my body, so I couldn't hardly move at all by the end, and I did finally get released. So I was confined to that chair my entire life. So I suppose the chair that flew away was the one that had begun my fascination with sitting in a chair where everybody could say, there he goes today, there he goes today. But I did come to appreciate life while I was in that chair. I did come to appreciate the fact of how wonderful it would be to run free like other children. How wonderful it would be to be able to say, hey, I'm whole today. I'm whole today. I can run and play. I can live. I can touch the grass and I can say, hey, everything is beautiful today. And I can enjoy it in the same way others do. And so I had to come to see that life is a gift that you have to appreciate or you will lose it. If you don't appreciate life for what it is, then you have to accept the fact that it will no longer be something that you can accept as your reality. So you killed yourself in the life before. Yes. And I had to have seen that video in order to understand this story. Amazing. Amazing. So you made fame in your next life when, or at least in the life when you were Lawnchair Larry. So you became Lawnchair Larry, basically. Yes, I became Lawnchair Larry because I had to sit in that chair and be aware that I would never run and play like other children did. I could never fly away from that chair, you see, because it was the chair that trapped me in my own misery because I became very depressed, you see, in later years. And that happens often when you get a minute of fame, and then you are the one to blame for your fame. And then you feel the shame that you had to be treated like a criminal, you see, just because you wanted to see what it was like to fly. Now I've got to tell you that I did die only a few months ago in my last lifetime. And now I have to readjust to the energy of heaven because I still sometimes would catch myself and say, am I going to be in that chair today? Am I going to be in that chair today? Oh, the chair of fate, honey, the chair of fate, because it will seal your fate if you don't get up out of that chair and say, I'm alive today. I'm alive today. And I'm going to play in a brand new way. I'm going to play in a brand new way. I'm going to say, it's not about the fame. It's not about the shame. It's not even about the blame, people. It's about the willingness to be the man who follows your dreams, you see. So follow your dreams, but don't be ashamed if others don't understand how you can be so bold as to say, I did it my way. I did it my way. Just say it loud and clear. I did it my way, people. I did it my way. And if you don't like it, that's on you. That's on you. I did it my way, and now I'm going to have to play a different way because I am the one who come to say that we all have to pay the price for our vice if we take the bad advice of others, you see. And I took the bad advice of others that if I ended my life by my own hand, I would be the one who had to pay because I'd be in hell, you see. I wasn't in hell. It's true. I went to heaven and I was there. But I came back to earth and I had to sit a spell and contemplate the value of what I had. What I had was the use of my 2 feet and my 2 hands. I could walk and shower and take care of myself. And yet I was so depressed that I was not the one who pressed forward to say, I did it my way, I did it my way. Now I'm going to continue to be the one who will trust on eternity, that life is here for the experiences. Be quick to trust on love, you see, that love is the ultimate reality. And every blade of grass and every leaf on the tree will be there as a reminder of God, you see. Don't forget it. Don't forget it, or you will be confined to that chair where you will see the world going by before you, but you can't participate in it, you see. You're stuck there in that chair until you can tear yourself away and say, I get it today, God. I get it today. I get it that I always get what I deserve. I always get what I serve others. I always will receive what I serve others. And when it comes back to me, I deserve it, you see, because I will no longer serve that particular meal to anyone else, because you see, I learned my lesson. And therefore, I appreciate every one of you who do it your way. I appreciate all of you who say, I just do it my way. And I don't care what others say, I'm going to do it my way. And that is why I'm here, because I see that you and the others in the circle do it your way. And if others say, well, that's stupid today, you must be crazy, or you must be the one that others fear, you just say, do it your way, because I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it my way. And if you don't like it, then run away, because I don't have any time to say, go away another day. Just leave me alone and play in your own way, because I'm going to play in mine, you see. Thank you for allowing me to talk to you today, because I appreciate the fact that you appreciate me for my ability to do it my way. Because when I wrote those books so long ago, when I was Thomas Hardy, it was not to fulfill my desire to be the one who was famous, you see, because I wrote about subjects that were not very popular in my day, and I just wanted to do it my way. I did it my way. And sometimes when you do it your way, your lasting fame will cause others to blame you and say, well, you didn't do it right that day. You should have sat in your lawn chair on your lawn and not went flying away. But I say, I did it my way. And if you want to sit in your chair forever and not get up and enjoy life, then do it your way. Do it your way, because you will not continue to play the way others do, who choose the experiences that come to you when you do it your way. And so I had to experience sitting in that chair all my young life, you see. And sitting in that chair taught me something. It taught me that I did it my way. I did it my way. I sat in that chair and I went in the air. And then when I came down, you see, I had to sit around and say, well, what else am I going to do today? What else am I going to do today? And finally, I came to see that until I could release myself from the chair of memory, I could not begin again to do it my way, because I was still chained to the past, you see. I was still chained to the past. And that was how I came to see that love is the only reality. Don't do it for the fame. Don't do it for the shame or blame. Don't do it because you are too lame to do it your own way. Just do it your own way and don't worry about it after that. Go on with your life because you did it your way. And you don't have to play to the crowds, you see. You don't have to tell them that they are too stupid to understand you. Just say, I do it my way. I do it my way. Go ahead and do it yours. Thank you, Thomas Hardy. I needed to hear that, and I appreciated you very much. Thank you. And thank you for everything that you do, because I appreciate you too. Thank you. Thomas, I just popped back to say I was looking at a list of your books to see which ones I have read. I didn't realize you had written so many. So I read Tessa Duberville's. I read Far from the Madding Crowd, Return of the Native. Wonder which other ones I read. Let me look here a minute. I can't remember at this moment if I read Mayor of Casterbridge and Jude the Obscure, but I might have because they sure sound familiar. It's been so long since I would have been reading your books, probably 50 years ago or more, because I had to stop reading when I was in basically when I was in college and law school because I was working jobs, or when I was in law school, I was a busy mother of small children. So I really didn't have time to read. And then life, I was a single parent, so I didn't have time to read. So most of my reading was probably done before I went to college. So I can't remember what other of your books I have read, but let me look again. I'm reading the names of other books here, and I think I'm going to have to get them and read them because I do appreciate really good writing. And it's very hard to find that, I find, in modern books. So let me look back at the books that I guess they're classics for a reason, right? And The Well Beloved. No, I didn't read that. A pair of blue eyes under the greenwood tree. The Woodlanders. The Woodlanders sounds a little bit familiar. Two on a Tower. The Hand of Elthaberta. Laodicean. A Laodicean. Um, it looks like you also did poems. Um, so I'm going to have to go back and read some of those books because thanks for reminding me because you are, in fact, I put that in my novel, my own novel, that the protagonist, a mother who was an English teacher, you were one of her favorite authors, I believe, Thomas Hardy, and some American authors, her favorite English, she was an English teacher. So I have always appreciated you. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Stephanie.